Good morning, everyone. Carly here. How you going, guys? So excited to spend a little bit of time with you today in our final week of our Get Set for Elite program for this round. Well done, guys. You need to give yourselves a big round of applause and a big pat on the back. You've just done an amazing job. And I really want to celebrate everything you've done this month to step outside your comfort zone, to try something new. It's going to be a call today about wrapping things up for the month. So yeah, hopefully some people will jump on in. Hey, Chrissy. Hopefully she's on. Hi. Nice to see you.
I forgot it was on.
It's all right. I think everyone did today. Let me know if you can hear me okay. It's again saying my internet's a bit dodgy today. So
yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. Well, hopefully some more people jump on in, as I've just done a reminder on the Facebook page. But this is our final week of the Get Set for Elite program and our final call together. And end of month magic is what I title it, because amazing things happen at the end of the month. And I woke up this morning and I've just spent a little bit of time this morning looking at all of your figures and your advancements. And we have had our first elite from this group hit that rank this morning or overnight. So it's really exciting. I'll celebrate that person in a separate post. But I wanted this call to really be a chance for us to reflect on the last 6 weeks. Can you believe it? 6 weeks ago, we sat together, all 11 of us were on the call, and really made a choice to step forward and to lean into our businesses and become the CEO of our businesses. And a lot happens in 6 weeks, but something that I always like to remind people is, how fast does that time go? Like, that to me feels like maybe a week or two.
I didn't even realize it was 6 weeks.
Crazy. And so I always say to women, you know, I was chatting to a woman yesterday about, she was sort of exploring doTERRA and whether she wants to do it and whether now is the right time. And I'm like, babe, there's never going to be the right time. There's never going to be the perfect time. And if you don't start today, and, you know, 6 months will go by and you'll be like, oh crap, I wish I'd started back then. So I just want to congratulate you all on getting through this 6 weeks, which has been really, in essence, a practice month, guys. Like, I want you to hear me when I say that I've chucked so much new stuff at you guys. I've asked you to step outside your comfort zones over and over and over again. You've tried different things on for size. You've probably done things that you've been really nervous to do. And so I wanted to say, like, you've graduated your practice month, right? You've had your L plates on, which is pretty cool. Hey, Jess. How you doing? So I want you to look back at this in that way, and whether you reached elite or not, what you've done is set up some really amazing foundations for building your business. And also you've grown as a person. Like, as I said, you've tried new things, you've stepped outside your comfort zones, right? You've done things that make you feel a bit nervous and a bit icky inside. You may have copped some rejection, you may have copped some ridicule, you may have copped some negative sort of comments from family members. You've really been very, very in your biz. And so you guys rock. Whether you actually got the title of elite or not, it actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. What I wanted for this program was for you guys to just step up every week and try new stuff. So what will happen from here is you'll just keep doing this in October and keep doing it in November and keep sort of growing that muscle, that stepping out of your comfort zone muscle, which is where all the good shit happens, right? Everything exciting and amazing happens outside your comfort zone. So today's call, I want to kind of talk about a little bit of end of month stuff that you can do. So some skills, some strategies, some practical stuff around how you can go and look at your dashboard, look at your figures, make any placements that you need to make before end of month if you've got some enrollments sitting on your front line. And then I really want to chat to you guys about what next. Like, how do you keep this momentum going? So a bit of accountability, yeah, with yourself when you don't have this program and these calls to kind of tap into every single week, where maybe myself or your accountability buddy's giving you a bit of a kick up the ass, right? Come on, you can do it. How are you going to keep that going for yourself? And then I want to spend, for you guys who are on the call, a little bit of time, just a bit of Q&A. Like, I want to talk about, so I'll give you the heads up now so you can think while I'm chatting. What was great about your month? Have a bit of a reflection. What did you do that you wouldn't normally do? What did you try that was new? What worked? What failed miserably, right? Like, we've got to look at that stuff as well. When did you fall flat on your face? How did you pick yourself up? Like, what were your kind of big learnings from the last 6 weeks? And I'd really, just like one thing, even just one thing that you're really proud of. Okay. And for everyone that's different. It could be, you know what? I actually picked up the phone and chatted to someone that I was really scared to chat to. Or, I publicly announced I came out of the closet, the doTERRA closet, on Facebook, right? Everyone's really different. I did my first class. I enrolled my first person, and totally crapped myself about how to do that, right? But what are you really proud of? You're still standing maybe. It's just you just got through the month, because I know that a few of you have some pretty big curveballs. So we're going to do that at the end for those who are on live. And those who are watching the replay, I'd love for you to type it in at the comments below this posting so that we can all celebrate together. All right? Cool. So, and if you guys who are on live have any questions, just chuck it in the chat box as I'm chatting as well. Just while you're thinking of it, just write it down. Nat's jumping on, but I know she's got guests over, so say good day when she is on. Okay, so end of month magic, guys. Oh, I love the energy of end of month. So much happens. And as I said at the start of this call, overnight, someone went elite, right, from this group. Like, I woke up this morning and it's like blooming Christmas. And I'm like, all right, let's check everyone's figures. Where's everyone at? And I saw this person had gone yellow and I was so excited. So you can have so much happen in the last few days of the month. Nearly every major rank advancement that I've seen, that I've experienced myself and that I've seen in my friends in doTERRA, happens all around the end of the month. So please, please, please just do a little mental check-in. Have you already wiped the month? Have you already said, oh, I won't get there this month, I'll wait till October? So I did see a little comment from somebody the other day. I can't remember where I wrote it, and they were like, oh, look, I'll just go for director this month and I'll go for elite next month. And I thought, whoa, we've still got 5 whole days, guys. 5 whole days. So much can happen in those 5 days. You could enroll 5 people today, right? Like, things can happen. So it's really important that you keep your mind in abundance mode and really open to the magic that can happen. Because as soon as you say the words, I won't go for elite this month, that's all right, I'll leave it, guess what the universe will provide to you? Zippo. Zilch, nada, nothing. So people won't be ringing you saying, oh, you know how I talked to you about 4 weeks ago about getting my oils? I'm ready now. But please trust me, and I know it sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but it happens to me all the time. When I just stay open to magic, what might happen, I'm just going to keep going for my rank advancement. And for me right now, I'm going to keep pushing for platinum, even though on paper it's highly unlikely if you look at the figures. I'm just staying open. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 days. And I was doing this yesterday morning. I kind of do a bit of a mindfulness / meditation in the mornings, just to I'm staying open, I'm visualizing what I want, blah, blah, blah. And at lunchtime, I went down to my local cafe and grabbed a juice and some lunch. And as I was leaving, I ran into a girl who came to a class of mine last year, who all year has been umming and ahhing about it, getting her home essentials kit, and I need to save the money up, and that's cool, no worries, I don't push, whatever. And so I ran into her yesterday at the cafe, and she's like, I'm ready, I saved up my money, I'm going to enroll, and I really want to do it in September to get the free ice blue. So if I know, and I trust this, if I had closed myself off for the month and gone, oh, that's it, we'll just wait till next month, I know I wouldn't have run into her. She wouldn't have been ready, or she would have contacted me on Tuesday, which would have been in October, right? So stay open. but it is the time to hustle a bit too. You got to lean in here. So you've got a choice now. Lean out and say, oh, it's all done and dusted, I'll wait, or really lean into what can happen in the next few days. Our end of month finishes at around 4 p.m. on the 1st of October. All right. So there's a gift. You've just been given pretty much an extra 24 hours, right? Because we run on American time. So we run on mountain time. Excuse me. I personally like to keep in my mind to have everything kind of done and dusted by around midday on the 1st of October. Because I'll tell you a story about what can happen. A previous month when I was trying to maintain gold, a customer put an order through around midday on the last day that was going to get me to gold. And my account manager from doTERRA rang me and said, that order the credit card just declined. So that order did not go through. So I then had a couple of hours up my sleeve to get onto this customer and ask her to process it again, make sure it had gone through, check with my account manager to make sure I reached gold. So please, if you can help it, don't leave it till 4 p.m. or 3:59 in case that credit card declines, right? That's shattering. So I always say about midday, I want to kind of wrap it up, be looking at my figures. I'm going to encourage you to get in the habit to be really present on your computer, looking at your tree, looking at your figures at end of month. So end of month is actually not a great time to go away to a very remote location with no Wi-Fi. Just going to give you the hot tip. Now that might have to happen sometimes, but you need to be on top of your figures, right? CEO of the business, what's happening with my biz? So in 5 days, guys, what can you do? What can you do, right? Like, who can you contact? Who can you follow up? Who's been to a class in the last month but never enrolled, didn't quite get around to ordering? You know, who can you talk to about the Ice Blue promotion to get them across the line? Can you have a class at your house? Can you have an open house tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, Monday morning? Can you see how much you can fit in if your goal is very strong and your why is very strong, right?
I actually put in a live. I decided to do a live a couple of days ago, and I've put it up on my.
Oh, you're frozen. That's not a great screenshot, is it? Nat, you're frozen. Where are you gone? I'm sure she was going to tell a really good story.
I am.
Oh, there you are. You froze. Okay.
I'm telling a really good story.
You put a live up on social media.
Yesterday I put after having a conversation. Oh, I don't know what it was. You must have done a live, or I don't know what it was. But I just went, cool. Well, maybe I need to reach out again to my wider community. So I put I'm doing a live, and I put the event up, a public event, and just to do a live tonight at 7:30, or maybe I put it up the day before that. Yeah. Just to see if I can just get anybody. And I just said, I'm doing it about how I use them in my home, really basic. So not even an intro class, just a really basic, this is how I use them, because that's mostly how, your friends and things, those extended Facebook people want to know that sort of stuff, rather than even being locked into a class. So I've even just opened up, say, this is how I want to tell you my story. This is how I use them in my home, in my life, with my, emotions and physical and, that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to do that tonight.
Absolutely. You might nab someone. So I know in the months where I've been really pushing for a rank or trying to maintain rank, and I've gone, I actually can't get out of the house to do a class. So maybe Paul's at cricket training that night, or, I can't physically go and do a class. I do a live class. And most of the time when I do a live class, I nab one enrollment. So, it's about reaching for the little 1%ers and just leaning in. I'll try that. I'll give that a go. I'll call that person. I'll open my house up this afternoon and just say, whoever wants to come for a cuppa.
Troy just said he's got someone that's in a moving into his suite. She's a massage therapist, and she said she's out of contract with doTERRA at the moment, and she said she spends about $2,000 a month.
What? On doTERRA?
Yep.
What does she buy?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, but she said that's what she spends, and she's out of contract, and she's not happy with the lady that she was with. So she's like, so Troy's like, yeah, well, Nat, she goes, I don't want to build. And I'm like, you don't have to. But this lady was pressuring her to build. And she doesn't want to do that, but she's happy to refer. So she said, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I haven't so we're not connected yet, but we're in conversations. So I'm like you. It's like, you just don't know what's around the corner.
Stay open to magic.
I'm open to that. I'm like, okay, don't get too excited though. Don't go pester her. Just it'll, transpire when it's going to come. So I'm like, I'm just waiting.
Jump on her. Yeah, awesome. But it is following up just those little things. So the important thing is if during the month you've done what I've taught you, which is to keep a list of people and really be tracking who you've had conversations with. When it gets to end of month, it's really easy because a lot of women say to me at the end of the month, well, then I don't know who to follow up. I don't know who to call. But if you've kept your lists and you've kept track of who you've had conversations with or who you've sampled over the month, you literally just whip it out and go, right, well, I'm going to follow all these beautiful souls up. So end of the month is a time where, I don't like to incentivize. I think I've talked to you guys about this a lot. I don't like to just say, oh, well, enroll with me and I'll give you all this free stuff. I think it sets a really bad precedent for the team. However, now I'm going to go back on that a little bit. If you need one enrollment to rank advance or, to take your team to that next level or to help someone in your downline rank advance, and you think that you've got someone right at the edge, and if you could just offer them a bloody hand cream or, a bottle of balance and they'll go for it, then make that decision. That's a wise business decision, right? Just remember though, this month we've got the Ice Blue stuff. So that's what's worked for me. I haven't had to use any other incentives. Now we don't obviously publicly incentivize and we don't incentivize people from other teams to come across and none of that nastiness. But if you've been working with someone and they're really, really close and you can just say, hey, I would freaking love it if you did it this month. This would be amazing. Let's get this in your hands. And you know what? That would actually really help me. I'm honest about that. That would really, really help me reach a goal that I've been working really hard towards. But I really want to gift you something. Is there anything else in the range you'd love? And you've got a little bit of stock, right? Don't do it if you don't. But most people say, oh, give me some roller bottles. I'm like, okay, no worries. That's fine because I would send them a little welcome pack anyway. But please use the Ice Blue incentive. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm not sure that we've been promoting that enough. So how can you lean in, guys? That's the message. 5 whole days, what can you do? And if you have already reached elite, who can you help in your downline team reach elite? So who can, it's interesting when we hit rank, sometimes we go, oh, cool. But it's really important. If you've hit a rank earlier in the month and you've got days left, you keep working. You keep going out there and sharing the oils. You keep getting enrollments. And then you can place some people under that beautiful soul under you that's this close to getting to executive or really close to getting to director and help your whole team rise, okay? So we have a term in the industry called sandbagging that can often happen as well. So sometimes what happens is we get to the end of month and we think, right, well, even if, so we get an enrollment and we've got this 250 PV sitting there and we're like, even if I put this in the system today, it's still not going to help me rank, right? So we go, I'm not going to put that in the system. I'm not going to enroll that person until October. And we call that sandbagging, where you actually just hold off business for another week. You guys hear me okay? Yeah? Really bad habit to get into, guys, because just think about that. If you hold off enrolling people, customer not happy, takes ages to get their oils. They want their oils today, right? People are really, we're all impatient these days. You want things like that. Second thing that happens is if you do that, what you're doing energetically is you're holding up the momentum of your business. You're going, I really want momentum all month, but I want it to stop now. And then, I really want momentum now. Come on, universe, give me momentum. Oh, no, stop now. And so the universe is like, what do you want? I'm not sure what you want. So flow is really important. So if I get an enrollment today, someone fills out their form and I've got it sitting here, I put it in. Even if it would suit me maybe better on paper to do it next month to help me get to a rank or help me, help one of you guys get to a rank, it's not a great habit to get into. And if I held it off, that's 5 days here. But if I did that every month over the year, right? 5 days here and 5 days here and 5 days. That's a lot of days out of my business where there's no flow and no energy going through it, no income coming through. Does that make sense? Yeah, so sandbagging, we don't do it. We don't do it, and I encourage you not to do it. What also happens when you have enrollments just sitting on your desk is, and I do believe in the law of attraction, not many people do, but I do, and I just believe that if I've got enrollments sitting on my desk not moving, there's no room for new enrollments to come through. So I just like to keep them flowing through. Anyway, you can listen to Abraham Hicks and all of the stuff on law of attraction if that's your jam. But it's interesting when I play around with it a little bit, and I kind of try and stop momentum and see what happens, and everything stops. So flow is good. Flow is good. All right. So what I wanted to do now is to sort of show you a little bit of end of month what am I trying to say? Dashboardy stuff. So I want to go in and share my screen with you guys. Give me a thumbs up when you can see that. Can you see my dashboard? Yeah? Cool. So what you're going to do today is you're going to go in and you're going to look at your dashboard. And hopefully another skill you've picked up this month is you need to go in and check your figures every day. Like, you need to be jumping into your account because things can really change really fast. So just being across it, 5 minutes in the morning, log in. Okay, yep, cool. That's where the team's at. That's what's happening. But at end of month, what you need to do is you need to come to your dashboard and look at this square here, qualifications. Okay? And you need to check that that rank sitting there is the rank that you are meant to be, right? So if that was sitting at, if that said Premier, I'd be like, oh crap, I shouldn't be Premier. And I can go in then and have a look. It's just a little red flag. It could mean that someone's LRP hasn't processed. Yeah, it could mean a number of things, but in your head you're thinking that person has ranked, so I should have ranked. Well, yeah. For you guys that are sort of working towards elite, just check that it's sitting at elite if you believe you've done your 3,000 in volume, or executive or director, whatever you think it should be sitting at. So just check it. What you're going to do though over the next 20 days. So before the 15th of October, you need to go back and just check that it stays the same. All right. So around the sort of 12th, 13th, I always go in and just make sure that I'm still at the rank I was meant to be, or at the rank I achieved, in September. Let me explain why. Your uni level commission, your monthly bonus, is paid out from the system on the 15th of the month. So on the 15th of the month, the computer scans and pays you out at the rank that's sitting on this qualification dashboard. So if let's say you hit executive in September, and then on the 6th of October, one of your customers returns some product, which actually then drops your volume and drops your rank, right? Now, I've never personally had it happen, but I have had it happen, seen it happen to friends. So actually, I lie. It did happen to me one month. One of my premiers slipped rank and I didn't know. So I actually only got paid as a silver that month instead of a gold. So that cost me $1,000. So make sure you check, right? Make sure you check. I was away camping, so I didn't check. That was in April, yeah. So make sure you just check that hasn't slipped. If it has, you ring me straight away. I ring our account manager at head office and she goes through and has a look at what's been returned, and then we can just place another order to bring it back up so we can solve it. All right. So it may not mean thousands of dollars at the lower ranks, but can you imagine when you're like a presidential diamond and you slip rank, right? That could mean 50 grand for the month. So check it. Start these habits early. Okay, so you're going to check all of that. So just for example, right now, I'm still not ranking as a gold because I still need one premier to get across the line in the next few days. So it gives me insight into where I need to put my energy, right? So my class tonight, I'm like, well, I'm going to put that volume in that leg that needs it. So you'll see here I've got 2 premiers already ranked, which is great, and I've just got 1 that hasn't yet. Okay? Does that make sense? So just check that. Basically, you're just checking that it says the rank that you believe you should be. Excuse me. Down here is your 6-month uni level history. So that'll have, you know, what you've been paid monthly. That's your monthly bonus. So just check that last month's was fine, but yours really won't be showing up if you're just sort of launching this month. It really won't show up till about the 15th of next month. So check that out. You can have a look at new rank advancements down here. Just this is as your team grows, you can check on how they're traveling. Okay? And that's where I go to celebrate you guys. I'm like, oh, look at all these rank advancements. It's so cool. Very, very cool. Righto. So that's what you're going to look at. Also make sure that your cart, your LRP for next month is sitting at 100 or more, or you will not be paid your uni level bonus. So just a reminder on that, guys. Make sure, because sometimes it slips down and I have to ring people and say, you're not going to get paid. Please put your template, your cart, back up to 100. So just check on that, guys. Okay, now the team tab. So what I do a lot, I do it every day, but especially around end of month, as I said, when I've got people that are really close to rank advancing, or I'm, you know, looking at a rank advancement myself, I'm in here and I'm looking at things like sponsor changes and just making sure that I've done all my sponsor changes or my placements, right? So those of you who have enrolled in the last 2 weeks, you'll have people maybe sitting in there. If you're not sure where to put them in your tree, ring your upline and have a tree overview and work out where to put your placements. So where to put people to help everyone in your team rise. And you're always going to be looking at the next rank. So for elite, you know this, it kind of doesn't matter where the volume sits in your tree, but you need to be really planning for silver. So 3 legs, excuse me. So just start looking at that. If you've already hit elite this month, the next movement for you is to print out the premier and the silver guides and start planning. Okay, cool. What do I do next month? Who do I help get to executive? Because premier is 2 executives in 2 legs and 5,000 volume, right? So always, okay, next rank. So just make sure that you've got no one sitting in there that you haven't moved. If you've still got time on them, then do them. But my recommendation would be to move them before the end of the month so that they're well positioned and you add volume to where they need to be. But as I said, if you've got any concerns or queries or you're confused, ring your upline or ring me and we'll go through it. You're going to be checking your graphical tree, all right? You're going to be checking that graphical tree. So I'm going to use Natalie's tree just to make it a bit smaller because you guys are on live. We're all in Natalie's tree. Where is she? Okay, it's Natski's tree. So you'll be coming in here. You'll be hovering over names. And I'm not going to do that for privacy, but you'll be just checking that excuse me, that your volume's there, guys, that LRPs have been processed. I love to check if there's any LRPs due to go, but no LRP can be sent after the 28th, right? So if there's any LRPs still due to come, they'll come out today and tomorrow, but you won't get LRPs after the 28th of the month because no one can set them up for those dates. So you might have that. You might have some LRPs coming through. The other way you can check that is to go to the team tab, go to detail Jenny.
I've got 2 more, I think. I've got 2 more to go, I think, for this month still.
Yeah, great. Do you know what legs they're going to go in?
Yeah, it's in Fiona's leg.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really important to know.
They're pretty small this month, unfortunately. They did a bigger order last month, so this one's not as good as last month, but they've still got a couple of volume there to come out.
Okay. So when you go through your detailed genealogy, I always change my levels from 0 to 100 just up here, make that 100. And then I'm going to go and change my filters. So I want to know name. I want to know their next LRP PV. And I want to know their next LRP date. And I'm going to go update report. And then I'm just going to scroll down through here, this side where it says next LRP date. And I'm just going to see, now remember it's American format. So I'm looking for a 9. I'm just going to see if there's any more LRPs coming out on the 9th. Here's one. On the 28th of the 9th, 1250. So then I'd go and look where Rihanna is. Maybe that's one of Nat's. And go, right, that volume's coming. Now it's pretty easy when you're doing elite, but when you're doing those higher ranks and you need volume in certain legs, it's really important that you go through this and go, well, cool, I know there's another 50, 100, 300, 3,000, whatever, PV going into that leg tomorrow. Great. I'll place accordingly. So there's one. But most people, I teach my customers to place their orders in the first 2 weeks of the month. All right, here's one coming out, 76.50 coming out today. That's one of mine, Emma. Tomorrow, 112 going through that customer. Tomorrow, 62. So, while your team's small, this will be much easier to do. But as it grows, you're like, cool, I just want to check what volume's coming through. Because if I have a class tonight and I get 500 PV and I put it all in a leg where tomorrow another 500 PV is going through, I may miss out on a rank. So I'm just teaching you this stuff now so you can have a really good habit of just checking your detailed genealogy. All right, so there's another one there. There's quite a few coming through, 3 or 4 maybe of them, okay? So let me show you how I did that again. I went to my team tab. I went to detailed genealogy on the left. I changed my report to 100 levels because my team goes down, not to 100 levels, but it goes down quite far. So I want to capture my whole team. And then I went to columns and I moved them all to the left. And I just picked what I want to look at right now. So this is detailed genealogy, gives you so much information. We won't go into it in depth right now, but you can have a play around in there. So I wanted to know their name, their next LRP PV, their next LRP date. And I've got my tree set up here as sponsor tree, not enroller tree. Because I actually want to look at everyone in my tree, not just the people that I've personally enrolled, because I help you guys. I always, I can tap people on the shoulder then and say, do you realize? And it's so interesting, guys. I can tell people who don't look at their figures because they're the people that I ring and say, do you realize that you only need 50 PV to rank to Premier? Or, do you realize that you're so close to this? And people go, no, look at your figures. So update report. And that will just change that report and just give me that information that I need. All right. So go and check if you've got any LRPs coming out today or tomorrow. This striking distance, this page here, to be honest, I don't use it probably as much or as effectively as I could, but it does show me who's close to going to rank advancing, right? I'm still trying to figure out how it all works in here, but if you can go in and have a little squeeze, you can kind of see. So I want to give you an example. So this beautiful soul here, she's 98.65% of the way to getting to, I know her, she's getting to elite, but you'll go, hang on, she's already done elite volume, but the thing that she's not done is 100 PV order. Now this can happen, guys, and so I know Tracy's on this, but I rang Trace and said, do you realise that Ness hasn't done 100 PV order, so she will not be paid as an elite. So she's like, oh, onto it. So sometimes you can come in here and just check where they're at and what's going on. You know, you look at this soul here, 15,000 volume under her. 15,000 volume under her, hasn't done an LRP order. Now, I know hers is coming out tomorrow, but if I didn't know that, right, I'd be like, oh, I probably could ring her and say, hey, you might earn $300 or $400 this month if you put in a 100 PV order, right? And I know that that's what this soul does, right? She puts in her 100 so she can be paid $300 or $400. In previous months, though, I've been able to beautifully ring my sister-in-law and say, if you put in a PV order this month, you probably earn about $200. You'll get it for free. So as your team grows, you need to be across your numbers so that you can help gift free stuff to people, right? Free product. So have a little look through there and you'll see the people that have already reached rank. They're over 100% as well. There you go. So that's striking distance. I'm still learning that one though. I'm still trying to get my head around that. End of month, I also look at anyone that's cancelled their LRP in the last 60 days. So this little one here will give you a list of people who have cancelled. And so I usually then try to contact them if I've got the available, time. I allocate an hour or so and I send them either an email or a phone call if I know their phone number and and I just say, hey, I've noticed you've cancelled your LRP. Can I help in any way? 99% of the time people cancel their LRP because they just don't understand how to use it. They think they have to spend a copious amount of money every month. And once I explain that they could just get their toothpaste and their body wash for the month, then people usually go back on it. So that's a really great little list to go through and just check on. It's very rare that people say, I just don't want to be part of the program. Usually they say, oh, I just couldn't afford $150 a month. And I'm like, you don't have to spend that, right? So we can have a chat and they usually go back on to LRP. So have a little squizzer at that. Really get familiar with this page and understand your growth over the months. Now, I also want you to look at how have you grown since August, if you were with us in August. So has your volume grown? And if it has, that is to be celebrated, guys, right? Have you had more enrollments or new members this month? Awesome.
Doubled this month. I've doubled.
Doubled your volume?
Doubled my new members.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's
Woo!
phenomenal. Woohoo! That's amazing, right? Truly, truly amazing to have 100%. Is that 100%? I'm really bad with maths. 100% increase? 200% increase? I don't know. I'm really bad with maths. It's phenomenal. So Nat's had an amazing month, And do you know why Nat's had an amazing month? Because she's amazing. However, there's also some other things she's done. She's plugged a lot of her team into this program. So a lot of her team have gone Get Set for Elite. So there's a message for you guys for the next round. Plug your people into Get Set for Elite. Next round will be starting mid-October. Okay, so have a look at that. Any growth is good growth, guys. Like we just want to be going like that, even if it's kind of really slow like that. But we don't want to be going backwards. I think that's all I needed to show you on there. Yeah, go in and have a look at your figures. And if you need any help, just sing out. Just sing out, just yell out, we'll have a chat. Cool. Now, the end of month, please, on Monday afternoon at around 4 p.m. is end of month, as I said, but please don't put in any new enrollments between like 4 p.m. and the next morning, Tuesday morning. A couple of reasons. Sometimes the computer takes a few hours to actually click over and reset the standings, right? And set us all back to 0. So if you've reached rank at 4 p.m. and you're like, yeah, that was awesome. Now I'm doing October. And you put someone in at 6 o'clock Monday thinking, well, it's October. That'll go into your September figures. All right. So just wait till Tuesday morning. Go into your dashboard, make sure everything's back to 0. You're back to being a consultant because every month you go back and you work up again. And yeah, before you put any kind of figures in it. So I just wanted to remind people of that. We had one girl who pretty much missed out on executive rank 1 month because she put her enrollments in the previous month. Okay, so I really wanted to open it up now because we've got 3 of you gorgeous souls on to share with me how you found this month, what you've learnt, anything that's sort of coming to mind that you want to give, and any feedback. In particular, something you're really proud of, right? Something you've done this month that you're super duper duper proud of, right? That you're proud of. It doesn't have to be matched or mirrored against anyone else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, but what are you really proud of? And was there anything in the Get Set for Elite program that you wish I'd covered or you wish you'd learnt that I didn't do in enough detail? I really want to grab your feedback. I will also be sending you guys a little feedback survey as well next week, just to feed into this. And please fill it out because it gives me so much good stuff to work with for the next round where your next team members might be part of it, right? So if you're part of being collaboratively growing this program, your team members are going to thrive. They're going to really benefit from it. So make sure you check out that when I send that out. So let's whip around. We're going to start with Jess. What's one thing you're proud of, gorgeous lady, or just something that you want to share that you've really loved about this month, and any kind of areas that I didn't cover that you'd love me to?
Yeah. Well, I guess something I learnt was how much doTERRA is based on teamwork. Like, I would not have, I'm like 50 away or something, I don't know. And I did very little of that. Like, I tried my hardest, but at the same time, like, achieved not as much as the other people in my team.
Mm.
So teamwork has been something it's really opened my eyes to that. I did find it really challenging. Like, it was, stepping out of my comfort zone and actually asking people to do a class, even if it was an online class. I got some really quite rude responses.
Yep.
And it was okay then. Thanks anyway.
Yeah. Next.
Yep. I may not catch up with you next time I'm in Waterbull. Bye.
Yeah.
So that was challenging. I think that was probably when it got the hardest. But then when I had a bunch of people say they wanted to do the online classes, it was better. And yeah, I guess I'm proud of myself because I did a couple of online classes and I didn't sell much from them, but at the same time, I got out there and sat and yabbered to myself on the phone for an hour. It was such fun. But yeah, I guess I won my mum over this month, which was huge because she was one of the most negative Nancys.
Yay! Well done, Jess.
Sold on a few different oils and hopefully we'll now have monthly orders. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, good on you.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't give you feedback because all I can give you is positive feedback because it was all amazing. I flailed in the middle of the month and then Nat came to the rescue and then like listening to everything you have to say and you being so excited about the convention as well. I was just like, oh my gosh, how can anyone not be totally pumped right now? So
oh my gosh. Oh, but I only shared like this much.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And, can I say
through the
Can
convention.
I say I didn't rescue Jess? Can I say I didn't rescue Jess? I didn't rescue her. She actually made choices. Okay, like because
Without you drawing attention to those,
yeah, but who reached out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you made the choice to reach out. You made the choice to have a listen to what I was saying. You made the choice to answer the questions, and then you made the choice to do something different. So I didn't rescue you in any way, shape, or form. Okay?
No, you're still amazing.
Yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. And you were sick this month. You travelled. Like lots happening, right? And yeah, I think you need to like celebrate and actually set aside an hour this weekend to celebrate with your family and your beautiful boys. Like put some music on, have a dance, go out for lunch, like do something, guys, because you've grown exponentially, Jess, this month. And I want to touch on a couple of things. We are sifting and sorting all the time. This isn't for everyone. Excuse me. You're going to get more no's than yeses generally. That's just this business, right? Get off your scooter. Go outside. Went flying past them. And I still get shite loads of no's. Still get them. And it's okay. That's okay. And I do go in my head, go, that's cool. Next person. But what you've done, Jess, and you might see this come to fruition later on, is you've planted seeds. And those beautiful souls that were very either triggered by it or just not there, not interested now, something might change. And then they know, oh, Jess does that. I'll go back to Jess, yeah? So you've planted and set up an amazing little garden there that you just now water. And I just want to say, though, when you get on a live and do a class and you don't sell much or no one even shows up, guess what you're telling the universe, though? I'm here. And I'm going to keep putting this out there, and you keep that momentum and that energy flowing. Can't tell you how many Q&A Tuesdays I've done where no one actually gets on, and I commit and I show up because I'm not going to give up on myself. So if I just say, oh, that's all right, no one's going to show up, or no one's actually registered for that live that I'm going to do on Thursday night, I'll just sit on the couch. I'm giving up on me. And I'm actually saying that my why and all the stuff that I've set up and that I want to do is actually all phony. I'm actually not that committed. So we show up. And every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, you know what? Most of the time I can't be asked, but I still get on there and I do Q&A Tuesday and I do, and I show up and I show up and I show up. So I just think you're amazing. You've had some challenges and I want everyone to hear that. We all have life stuff that comes up. We've all got challenges. But you rescued yourself. You said, I need help. You also mentioned teamwork. The only way we succeed in doTERRA is if everyone succeeds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the energy that you have put out there in the universe has actually meant that you're now being rewarded with this beautiful tribe under you doing great things. And I know that that has really helped you rank advance. What they've done. But I want you to hear me when I say your energy, your presence, your action, that's created that as well. There can be a little bit of luck of, well, I'm really glad Carly put that person under me. Yeah, like that happens. But if you didn't put in your monthly order, you wouldn't get paid on it. If you didn't show up, we wouldn't put energy into you, right? So you've done the work, right? And there'll be a point where you go, yeah, I've built that myself. Right now, though, you're riding on the team energy. So use that, utilize that. Something that can happen, though, is just don't get complacent in that. Don't get entitled is the word that comes to mind. Like, so some people, they go, oh, well, that's cool because everyone will build it under me, right? That's cool. Nat will build it under me. Carly will put people under me. And I know you won't do this, Jess, but just watch that in sometimes that can happen in your downlines. Because you do want to build them and you give them place people and you put volume under them and then they just kind of, some people expect that every month and get a rude shock when it doesn't happen 1 month. We call it doTERRA welfare, right? They just sit on doTERRA welfare. So they're, just cruising. But they can only grow so far. So, it's you beautiful souls that are putting in the energy that are going to go far. So well done. Yes, you're amazing. And we'll be celebrating you shortly, I'm sure. So thank you for your feedback. But if you think of anything, any constructive feedback at all, pop it in the little survey that I'll send out as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, honey, for sharing. All right, we're going to go to Chrissy. Chrissy, she's already unmuted. Yay.
Well, I don't even know where to start.
Start at the very beginning.
It has been really... I struggled with doing the my first class I did because I just kept babbling on about stuff. Like I have to know like all the info on it. So I went away from this class and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna try and do as much research on everything as I possibly can because I don't like going in and going, oh, this is what I was told. So, I need to know all that sort of background information and then everything from convention. I was just like all this stuff. I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Like I was like going through everyone's Instagram and watching all their live stories and like, and like that sort of, that excited me a lot. Like I was like, yeah, I want to go to convention next year. Like I want to be.
Oh, you'll love it. Yay.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I wasn't really working on doing the classes. It was more getting all that information so that like I'm confident in giving it, like telling it to people. It's not like, oh, this is what's been said. Like I have no, I don't have anything to back me up on it. This is just what I've heard. So like get all this stuff from convention, like, you know, doTERRA is like the #1 in the world. Like I'm not just saying that because I want people to be interested. It's actually a legit thing. Like it is #1 now. Like there's proof that it's #1 now. So like now when I go back and do classes or talk to people, I can actually, like I am confident in saying that to people. But yeah, like we've had a really tough month as well. Like my husband's away at the moment. He's in Malaysia, and it's been the biggest fuck around ever.
Yeah.
They're a useless organisation. They really are. Jess will back me up on this, right? They are useless considering they're like the fucking fury of Australia. And like we found out like his dad has been diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma.
Yep.
You know, like it's basically it's not treatable and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just been a really, really fucked up month. So like I use this month like to learn everything to sort of build up my knowledge and everything. Like I was telling Jess the other week, like I want to do the aroma touch technique. There's a class coming up in November. I'm going to do certificate in naturopathy because, like, you know, I just want all that. I want to know all of it. Like, and like you said the other day on your live, you didn't do good in science. I fucking hated science at school. Like, I hated it. But like, I want to know all the effects. Like, I want to be able to, like, someone say, you know, something's wrong with them. I'd be like, this is what you need, and I know it because I've studied it. Like,
sure.
So yeah, that's just been my thing. And then, like, you know, hopefully next month I can build up on that with like doing the classes, and you know, I'll have that confidence to do it without so that's just me.
I love it, honey. Thanks for sharing. I love it. So you do need to find that belief, right? So remember right back at the start I talked about the elite rank is really finding belief in the product. So it sounds like you've been developing that belief in how these oils work and the science behind them, right? So I totally get that. And that will be an ongoing journey, right? Like, oh, now we've got 8 more oils to learn, right? Like it's never ending. And I love that because it keeps it exciting, keeps us curious, keeps us engaged. We do have to remember, though, that most people at our classes just want to be told, like, use this oil for this. We love the science, right? Like, I want to know more, and trust me, like, we're going camping next week. Guess what? I've packed all my aromatherapy textbooks, and, like, you know, that's what I'll do. I love it, but I want to share an analogy with you. Most of us who decide to do doTERRA, we're like big Mack trucks, right? And that's probably heard me say this analogy before. Big Mack trucks. So we have these petrol tanks that are massive that you can fill and fill and fill and fill and fill. Like they take so much in. So we're just like, give us more information, more knowledge, want to learn more oils. Most people in our classes are little scooters, right? Their petrol tanks are this big. And we come in as a Mack truck and we're like, I'll give you all the information. I'm going to fill you up. And they're like overflowing and the petrol's spurting out everywhere. And you see them glaze over. They're like, I don't need to know about sesquiterpenes and monoterpenes and linalool and ethers and how it interacts with the cell in the body and da-da-da. So my first few classes, I apologize to the people that were there because I was like, I want to tell you everything right now. Like classes went for 4 hours, right? So I want you to have that knowledge, guys. I want you to feel that and believe that, and I think it's really important that you know that stuff. But when you go and do a class, they're scooters. So you're going to picture that now, right? They just need little bits. It's also like you offer them a buffet, right? They can just take a little bit and come back for more. So they can come back to another class. They can hold another class themselves. They can jump onto your Facebook group. They can jump onto the doTERRA website. There's so much out there for them. The class is really a taster. It's their little entree. So I just like to share that with people because I have the gift of knowledge and I love to share my knowledge. You guys know that. So I have to honestly at my classes like rein that shit in because they will go for 6 hours, 6 hours. And you can lose people. They go, oh, it's all too complicated. They want ease. They do want ease. So I absolutely want you to learn, Chrissy, but I also want you to know that to do a class, you just need oils in a book. You just need oils in a book. And I often say, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that because there's so much to learn. It's actually impossible for me to know everything about every oil. I can't. I don't know, but hey, here's a book. Let's look at this together. And the feedback I get from people is then they go, well, it made me want to purchase. It made me want to learn about the oils because you don't know everything. So it means that it's more relatable. And I think I can do that then. If I buy some oils and I get a book, I can do that. All right. So we have to remember we don't have to be the guru. We don't have to be the expert. Most of the time when someone rings me and says, which oil do I use for my child's issue, earache, whatever, most of the time I look at the book and I just read them the book or I take a screenshot of the book or I tell them to get the bloody book, right? So, or the app or whatever. I'm so excited that you're going to study because I'm teetering on studying as well. But that would be mainly for my own knowledge. We can chat about that more too though, because if you study aromatherapy in Australia, they will teach you never to ingest oils, but we know that the science is very different with doTERRA oils. So it's, just an interesting area to get into. I won't keep going on that. Any feedback, Chrissy? Anything that could have been done differently or added into this program that you felt like you needed that you didn't get?
No, not really. I just, it's a lot of information that's helpful, really. Like just said, there's not really, like I suppose that's because I not really that far into it yet. So, but everything that you've taught or spoken about has been helpful.
Right.
So,
cool. Awesome. Well, if you think of anything, please, I have my big girl panties on. This was the pilot program.
Questions for you, and every single one of them I've forgotten. Yesterday when I randomly just asked you about the DDR prime because it's like in my head right now.
Please write them down. I'm going to come to Adelaide again in October, so we'll have a training sesh and we can talk more deeply about that sort of stuff as well. Alrighty. I loved having you on board, and if that's how you've used this month, then I think that's freaking phenomenal. And I just hats off to you mamas that do this with husbands away, because I honestly couldn't. I know people say, yes, you could. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I could. I actually don't think I could. So you guys, mwah, big love. I just think you're phenomenal. And I think that you should wear capes every day. But anyway. All right, Natski, let's go. Unmute, Nat.
Yes. Okay, I think I've unmuted. I actually have looked up Wonder Woman capes. Funny that you said that. I actually looked them up. They're about $50-something, and I am going to get one.
I want one, and then we can all wear them to convention.
Yep, yes! I'm going to get one. Oh, yeah, we should. Oh, my God. All right, I'll put the link up somewhere. I'm so doing that. You're serious, aren't you? We are doing that.
I'll do that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, good. Well, I'll do that. So yeah, and there's a really pretty like red one. It's like silky, and I just like it. So I'm like, let's get that. Yep. But yeah, because for that reason, I was like thinking just for life in general, just doing that whole, okay, cool, like just putting it on when I'm feeling a bit there, but also being able to model to my kids that, like sometimes that's all it takes to change your state. How have I found it? Oh, is that what you're asking me? How did I find this? Because obviously I was obviously sitting on it for a different purpose. But
yes, you're there to support your beautiful team. Is there anything that we could have added in that you felt your team needed? Sometimes they don't know what they don't know or what they need to know.
True. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe at the start I was thinking like, did we actually do in the in there about their belief system, about some of their stories, about, did we actually do one of those? Or did it kind of come as a...
Briefly with a bit of homework. So
I reckon maybe...
we did the belief summit.
Yeah. I think maybe like some of, like, especially at the start, like that really plugging into that why and the intent, setting intent. Like, I think some of that stuff around setting intentions, doing the why, doing that core, some of, you know, doing that story stuff is probably maybe needs a bit, like, maybe it needs a bit more bigger section, because I think that's obviously what holds you back in the first place. Like, it's nice to know the information as well, but I think it's nice to get that mindset in place. So I don't know, maybe if there's just a little bit of that in each.
Weave that through the weeks.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, because I think once, you know, sometimes is not enough, but just like maybe there could be some kind of habit that you know that they think that would be good to create. I know with Jess and I know and Emily and stuff, when people message me, I always take them back to actually pretty much any one of my friends in life, whatever they're doing. I say, what's the intention? Like, what's the why? Why are you doing this? Bring it back to there, because I feel like as soon as you put it in that space, it just gives you another powwow, like, to go out. And so then I said to Jess before she started her online class, because it was big, this was the first thing that she was doing, and I just said, you know, like, what's your intention though? Because it takes it out of yourself and into service. If you sit in your intention, you're sitting in service. If you sit in you know, like, well, this is my stories, you're not sitting there, you can't help people. So yeah, that's probably my suggestion. Just, I mean, you've got all that. You're doing.
We covered that as well in the week where we talked about how to actually approach people on your list and how to get into a place of it's about them, what's in it for them,
exactly. Yep.
But definitely we can weave that through. It's really interesting though, and we'll do this in the follow-up survey about, like, who has been using their sonic anchor, who's been using their aromatic anchor, and if not, when did that stop? When did we slip? Because we can keep giving you techniques and strategies,
of course,
but you guys have got to implement consistently every single day. And I'm really great at forgetting those basic things and having to go back. Have I put any oils on today? Oh, no, maybe that's why I'm feeling crazy, you know, like, reminders. So that leads really well into accountability, guys. So this program's wrapping up, right? Now, you can absolutely do next round. You can do every round, but I'm hoping by then you'll be past elite and you won't need to. But what are you going to do now to keep yourself accountable to your goals and dreams? How are you going to make sure that every day you get up and you take action and touch your business, right? Without this whole, there's a call coming up on Thursday, you know, I've got to have some stuff done. So it's really interesting, and I will call this out, that at the start, our first call 6 weeks ago, we had 11 people on the call. Nearly everyone was engaging on the page. Then you'll see the drop-off, right? And this will happen in your teams and your businesses. You'll have this many people who say they want to build, but really out of that, you'll have only like 2 or 3 that'll actually take the action. Because we're very good at saying what we want, but we're not great at actually following through and being consistent and getting through the hardship. So when I launched this program in my head, I was like, you know what, to be honest, if 2 people hit elite this month, that's fabulous. 2 out of 11 is amazing, because I know the numbers. And we'll pretty much come close to that, which is really cool. But you guys, and I'll say, you know, and Amy couldn't be on today because of internet, but she wanted to be on. Jess, Chrissy, you've shown up. You've shown up on the calls. You guys videoed your why. You did it. So that's great. Keep doing that stuff. Chrissy, unmute. Go.
I just have to say, like, with the whole the video, the why thing, it took me ages to actually figure out why I decided to actually join it. Like, I did, you know, for the whole peppermint headache thing, but then it was kind of like, well, why am I looking for something for my headaches? Like, and, you know, I never put it down to that whole issue with my family and stuff. And like, it actually made me sit down and think about it. Like, it wasn't just, because, you know, I'm sick of taking pills. Like, I literally would sit there and go, this headache is really, really bad, but I don't want to take anything for it. Like, so it actually made me sit down and go through, like, you know, all those sort of issues. But
so we usually have a surface why, you know, because the oils are awesome and they'll help me. And then we peel that onion, and your why will keep changing. It can change day to day. A new life situation comes up and you're like, oh, well, that's why I want to do it now, because whatever, I want to bring my husband home. Or, you know, there was a beautiful woman at Leadership this year who she was a platinum leader, and she was really limiting. There was a lot of blocks around getting to diamond. And then her child was diagnosed with a really rare disease, and he had to have massive hip surgery and be in a cast for like 4 months and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I have to go to diamond now because my husband has to quit work and I have to quit work really to care for him full time. It was really full on. She got to diamond because her why then became, we need to be home full time but pay the bills, right? And there's no other job I can get that's going to do that. So she took it to that next level. So your why through every rank will change. And I bet you have 4 or 5 more whys, right? It might be, I don't want to, you know, for me it's, you know, I always say on the surface it's I want to be home with my kids. But at the base of that, it's that I was a childcare kid. My mum always cried about the fact she lost all those years with us because she had to work full time. And like, it's deeper than I just want to be home with my kids. It's financial security, which is deep, like deep stuff for a lot of people. So I love that you said that, Chrissy. And I love that you actually allowed yourself to go there and think a little bit deeper about it. And I hope that as you have beautiful souls come into your team that might look at sharing or building, you do that with them. Do that work with them. So you know how we've talked about duplication over the few weeks? What you do duplicates down. What you've learnt this month, you can share this. So you get a new team member in that wants to build, you have a call and you go through the launch document and you go through their why, right? You plug them into the programs. You make sure that they understand, you know, the compensation plan. So you start to teach that out to whatever level of knowledge you have, right? You're not going to know everything at the start, but you've learned some stuff. And if you can get people really in touch with their why, they will get up every day and work their business. They'll get up every day and share. If it's a superficial why, they'll leave, they'll stop. And even with the oils guys, like if they're not sold on the holistic lifestyle and they don't actually want to invest in their health, they'll stop ordering oils.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, gorgeous girl. So I just want to leave you with a little bit of a parting comment. What you do in October will set you up for January. So something that I've learned after year of doing an end of year is that what you do now impacts in 3 months' time. So what you guys have just done in September, you will see amazing results from that in December. The people that do Diamond Club, and I'm going to encourage you all to look at doing Diamond Club next year, they finished in May. And my best friend did it, and she went diamond in August, May, June, July, August. I see it all the time. What you do today impacts in 3 months' time. If you do nothing today, guess what's going to happen in 3 months' time? Nothing. There'll be nothing. So this is a really brilliant run to Christmas, but if you have new builders in your downline or people that want to suss out sharing and building, you got to plug them into the next round because it's going to give them a solid run into January and February. December is usually a really busy, high volume month because of the Christmas specials. Everyone goes a little bit nuts. And I'll just give you a little whisper. Every Christmas so far, there's been a free frankincense offer. So that is usually when people stock up on Frankie Boy. I've already put the money aside for whatever that will be. It's usually like a 200 PV order gets a free bottle of Frank. So utilize this time, plan out your next few months, do as many classes as you can in that lead up. Then you've got Christmas, which is usually a bit of a buzz. And then January traditionally can be a lull. And I always like to go against the trend because Januaries for me have traditionally been extremely big because I plan for them. So just start thinking about, are you away in January? How many classes can you do in Jan? How do you sell January classes to people? Well, I just say, have a barbie or we'll have drinks on the deck, like, and make it an afternoon of fun. We might put a drop of grapefruit in the champagne and we might, you know, we make it a bit of a fun get together with friends. So I know it might sound crazy that you're thinking about the end of the year, but if you start now, you'll finish on a really high note. Qualifications for Diamond Club, I'm just going to point that out. They'll be out soon, and I'll let you know about that. Natalie and I will be doing it. If you want to be part of it, we'd love that. And that's, I think, everything on my list. Yay, cool. But I just want to thank you guys for being part of the pilot program, my little guinea pigs. I hope you've loved it and found it really helpful and informative. You know, it doesn't stop here. We have lots of team calls. We have our team Facebook group. So please, like, start being a bit more proactive in there. Help your team see you in there, right? Oh, Jess is in there. She's doing this and she's sharing this. That inspires people. And as your team grows, Chrissy, that'll inspire them as well. And even on the customer page, really, like, it's amazing when you guys actually post questions and stuff, how engaged people get. So that's it from me, lovelies. I'll stop the recording for those